Hello guys, it's JBlade2000 again with another RWBY theory. This time I want to talk about, move the camera. This time I want to talk about Velvet Scarlatina, as I have gotten some new information, and this is just my kind of opinion and a theory on what's going to be in her box, because we all want to know what on earth is in the stupid box. So, today I'm just going to be sharing what I think might be in there. Now, I've come across some new information about her. Apparently, Monty, before his untimely passing on, has said that Scarlet is supposed to be some kind of, like, magic user or mage, in the way that she fights and uses dust and that kind of thing in combat. And so several people have kind of wondered if she's going to be like the Spring Maiden, since she's a rabbit or something. But I have a different idea, and I'm not necessarily sure that she would be the Spring Maiden. What if instead of that magic, her weapon is somewhat magical or has otherworldly properties, that seem magical? We have a lot of magical stuff here in this RWBY universe. You know, aura, dust. I mean, Glinda's abilities seemed magic, but it's just using dust and telekinesis, which is moving things with your mind. So I'm guessing Scarlet's box is going to be a couple, or could be a couple of different things and have a couple of different uses. Now, before I came across this information, I was thinking that along the lines of Team Coffee. Coco has both long-range and close-range weapon with her purse. She can hit things with her purse, or she can pull out her minigun and just demolish things from afar. Yatsuhashi, if I'm pronouncing that right, has his gigantic broadsword that he just swings. He only has a close-range weapon. A short-range weapon. There we go, that's the phrase. Also, Fox, who we don't really know much about, has very short-range weapons that he punches stuff, and that kinetic energy, he uses that kinetic energy to make things explode. And so, with Velvet, I'm thinking that since the other two members of her team have both short-range weapons, and Coco has a weapon that is both short-range and long-range, I'm assuming that Velvet's weapon will be both short and long range. And that's really, I think, some of the best weapons that they can use, or that I personally would want, is something that can be used short range, but something that can also be used long range, just in case a situation arises. So, what could possibly be in her box? Well, she is a rabbit, and she's supposed to have magical abilities. And so, I'm thinking that we know that she is based off the Velveteen Rabbit, which is a story I haven't heard in a really, really long time, so I'm not quite sure of the parallels there. But, I do like how they're also paralleling the rabbit being pulled out of the magician's hat with Velvet, her being that kind of I don't want to say magic user, but this kind of mage a mage type battle style or a mage type weapon. So about her box, the weapon could just be a box, and here are the two ideas I came up with for it just being a box. You know that magician's trick where he goes into the box and disappears, or the lady gets cut in half? Well, the same thing could apply to her box, that her teammates could go into it. She could set it down and allow Grimm to run into it, or whatever, and then they disappear or go to an alternate dimension until they open the box again, or whatever. I don't know. But somehow she can entrap enemies or protect friends by putting them in that box. Now, it might be too small for them to fit, but then again, this is RWBY, so it might expand and contract, kind of like, I don't know, John's shield. Who knows? Maybe it can grow bigger enough to encompass a person or several people. Or it could be kind of like an infinite pocket or an infinite space where Velvet can just open the box, reach in, and grab whatever fits the situation. If she needs long range, she can just grab like this dust rifle. If she needs short range, she can just grab like a broadsword or a whip or whatever she would need in that situation. If Coffee needs to climb a cliff, they look to Velvet. She opens the box, she grabs a rope. Whatever situation or threat that arises for Coffee, Velvet's there and has an item for that threat or problem, so that she would be the go-to gadget person for Coffee, always ready to provide things that Coffee would need in order to successfully complete their missions. Now, Coco has said that Velvet shouldn't waste that box in battle in the last episode of Volume 2, Episode 12. So, that might not be a valid theory, because we haven't the box seems to be new, like Velvet had just made it or made some repairs to it or something. But now, what about stuff that's in the box? Well, since she's kind of a magic user, we could go along the lines of a mage, where she opens up the box and it's some kind of like staff that she can use with her semblance or her aura or whatever. She can just use the staff to direct her power, or maybe it's like a wand, you know, for a magician, that she can use this wand that seems to have magical powers, or houses rare dust or something. And remember, this is RWBY we're talking about, and RWBY is heavily influenced by anime, and anime has a bunch of like magical girl genres and stuff, you know, Sailor Moon, stuff like that. And so it would be fitting for Velvet to have some kind of like big sparkly wand that she can use to just bash around enemies. So I don't really know what would be in her box, but along the lines of a magician or magical abilities, that's what I'm thinking might be possibilities for her box. Who knows? Maybe it's just a gigantic rocket launcher. I'm not sure what they're called, but one of those spears that like reach out and I'm not sure I can picture it in my head. I'm just not sure if I can describe it. That can just come out into multiple parts and just fling around. Or maybe Velvet has some kind of ability like Penny, that she can control multiple weapons at the same time and can just is just a powerhouse that can just take down enemies like Penny is. That would also be really fun to see. As far as semblances go, I don't really know of her semblance. It could be a magical semblance, teleporting people, or since she's a rabbit, it might be speed. Heck, since she's a rabbit, it might be duplication. We've seen a lot of duplication abilities in RWBY with Sun and now Flint Cole. So we do know people in RWBY have the potential to multiply themselves. And so, like rabbits, Velvet can create these after images or duplicates of herself. But I don't know. That's just my theories on Velvet. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I know there's not a lot of evidence to support any of the things that I just said. I just wanted to throw those possibilities out there. So there you go. My next video will probably be an anime review, and I'll try to get that done tomorrow. I was going to get it done today, but my family has a little get-together planned in a few hours, so I'll get that done and upload it tomorrow. So, JBlade 2000,